Hi guys, Barn D here, playing Neverwinter on the PC. So, with episode 2 of which lockbox should I open? So, to answer that question, again, as I mentioned in episode 1, somebody opened the Astral lockbox there, Astral Casket got something. Um, as I answered in episode 1 of this series, it is whatever that is meant for your build. So, for example, currently, I'm opening these lockboxes, the Grubby Goods lockbox. And the reason for that is I want to get three of these mythic weapon enchantments, right? For the DPS, the tank, as well as the healer. So I've already got the Rhyme Temper for the tank. I am now aiming for the Swift Energy and the Radiant Sanctuary. So I could get these from the auction house, but I don't want to do that because that's just not the way that I play. Like, I have 80, I got real life cash. I can simply just buy it from the auction house if I wanted to. But that just doesn't sit right with me. So I get my enchantments from kind of like luck, if that makes sense. I did buy the Rhyme Temper for like 5 million when it was cheap, or I suppose it is getting cheaper now because less people would like to buy these kind of like um, weapon enchantments. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Now, I could be getting the Grubshank as well. It's kind of like a toss up between if I'm gonna get the pack or if I'm gonna get Grubshank. As you can see, I'm almost there at the end where I can get either. But my kind of like mental train of thought right now is that now that I have a Rhyme Temper, I only need the two Synergy and the Holy, or whatever it is called, um, the Radiant Sanctuary for the healer. So the healer and DPS one. Obviously, I would like the DPS one, but if I get the healer one first, then if I have this pack, once I reach it, then I will just open uh, it to get the DPS one, the synergy, if that makes sense. So, or if say tomorrow get my VIP key for the lockbox, open it, and I did end up getting the DPS one, and I didn't get anything else after that until I hit 250 keys. Then I will get the combat enchantment choice pack, and then get the healer one since I already have the Rhyme Temper, I already have the synergy, right? Or before I had 250, I get the DPS one, I get the healer one, but I don't have the mount. And I know the mount is not the like highest DPS. I mean, debatable, right? I believe people are saying that the new mount from the new lockbox, the current lockbox in mod 32.5, which Pet Pals, yeah, the Pet Pals lockbox. Um, if I was to open this, I could get the Sardina or the Cactus, the Hedgehog. The Cactus, the Hedgehog one, even though I'm a tank main, might be interesting, but I feel like there's other things that I can get lockboxes for myself, right? Talking personally here, that I can get from other lockboxes. So it really depends on what your build is or what you're trying to get. As a hoarder, I all want to get everything from all the other lockboxes. Oh, by the way, I'm sitting here in Mount Hat now because I'm using this like um, April Fowl's costume, right? And the thing is, um, it just occurred to me that kind of like Minecraft movie with Jack Black, Lava Chicken. That crossed my mind, so that's why I'm here. Anyway, besides the point. Sorry for that. That's I just saw myself and I was like thinking, why am I here? So to kind of like currently today, which is the 11th, 12th. I keep on forgetting. Right, we have the Astral Lockbox, Astral Casket, and plus the Wondrous Bazaar discount. Meaning to say, at the current moment, you can purchase Astral Lockboxes or Astral Caskets with AD at a cheaper price, especially if you have your VIP. So instead of paying 100,000, you only need to pay 60,000 for either of the casket or the lockbox in order to open them, right? So usually what I did, especially when Celestial's Insignias came out, I would be purchasing these with all the AD that I have. I think I spent about 3 million AD on these, and then I opened them and got nothing. So that's that's just how it goes. The cookie crumbles, etc., etc. So for now, while the Astro Lockbox discount, Wondrous Bazaar discount, compared to say the Pet Pals lockbox. Again, for standard lockboxes, you need keys, right? So depending where you are in the game, whether you're new or whether you have the resources for it, i.e., sorry, should I say, e.g., you have lockbox keys saved up, or if you have real life cash to kind of like burn, then buy VIP keys and then just open these. Um, but if you don't need anything from the lockboxes currently, and you just need kind of like say trade bars or um, insignias, possibly, obviously, it's a chance. Then perhaps astral lockboxes or astral caskets are kind of like what you're gonna go for at the current situation. Maybe because you don't have keys, maybe you have extra AD, maybe you want to get something like the Neo Eclipse line from the Astral Lockbox, maybe you wanted the Bountiful Bag from the Astral Casket. It really depends on what you want, and what you want is the kind of like lockbox that you will open. So again, for example, if you were looking for say the Demon Artifact, uh, which is apparently one of the best um, artifacts that gives you stats. Actually, I don't think it's in this one. Is it in this one? I was thinking, feeling it's not even in this one. The Pet Pals. Or was it the previous one? I can't right click because I'm recording. There you go. Got Sardina, you got Cactus the Hedgehog. It's probably actually the lockbox before this one. Yeah, it looks like it. So I don't have a Sardina. I've been using all of my lockbox keys on getting these combat enchantments at the moment from the Grubby Goods lockbox. So that's what I'm aiming for currently. Once I have those three, maybe even get a Grubshank. Again, I feel like I need, like, for example, for my build, I don't have the twice Alder um, mount, right? And also the Grace Revoir companion. I may have her already, actually. That's why I have these lock boxes here. Thing is, I know I have like a stack of these. Yeah, these one. I believe I do have the Grace Revoir companion, actually, now that I think about it. However, I do not have the Twice Pale Alder mount, which apparently is very, very good for crowd control. Um, it acts kind of like the Vortex, Dark Vortex. However, it has the additional what you call that attack of, there you go, reduces target's outgoing damage, increases the target's incoming damage. Is very, very good for content, for multiplayer content, as it were. And I don't have this yet, so in kind of like uh, in my mind, I think I'd get this first before, prior to getting Grubshank. When Grubshank first came out, his DPS was debatably the top in the it's the top mount power in the game. However, I believe that's been overshadowed by the okay, lava chicken. It's been overshadowed by the demon artifact, demon mount. I can't remember which mount it was. It's not the hedgehog one for sure. So to answer your questions again, what is the lockbox to get right now is the Astral Casket an Astral uh, lockboxes. I think that's kind of like my advice. Or if you don't have AD to spare, then the next best thing would be whatever it is that you need. If you already got the things that you need, then perhaps the pet pals might be a good um, option. Not only the pet pals, but also the grubby goods one. If you have it still, you may need to, since it won't be available anymore moving forward, you might have to purchase it from the auction house. Grub, although the mount one, yeah, there you go. There's quite a bunch of it in the auction house. You can purchase them with X amount of keys that you have. Into order to get the combat enchantment choice packs, because you can't get those anymore. Um, and I would say number three would be either these phantasmal lockboxes or magnificent resurgence lockbox, depending on what your needs are or what the market kind of like needs are. These are not available all year round, other than from the auction house, obviously, because they only come from time to time. I did actually see the phantasmal lockbox being sold earlier. It might actually still be sold in the in the Zen store. Sorry. Yeah. So most of most of us would actually purchase the keys and Astral lock boxes for trade bars. And the reason why you're gonna get trade bars is that so you can purchase kind of like maybe these mount tokens. That's how I know that's how I get my mount tokens. Insignia powders, for example. What else have you used? Companions. I know people would get kind of like the Black Death Scorpion. It is kind of like discounted right now. I don't have a lot of trade bars though to give away or to use at the moment, even though there is kind of like a discount going on. But it's fine. I've already gotten most of the things. I might go for maybe instead of insignias, I might go for mount upgrade tokens, because I do have kind of like celestial uh, mounts to go for. I want to say, sorry, not yeah, celestial mounts, not in my DPS loadout. I've got a bunch in kind of like my I've got a bunch of celestials already. I've got my mount power bolster is already at like 120%. Sorry, 125%, because I've already gotten a lot of those mounts to celestial, more than 10, I believe. But I would like to get more in order to kind of like open up my repertoire for group content. So yeah, that's kind of like my build for right now. I have 10 already, but I would like to get more. So if you open any lockbox, really, you'll get trade bars. However, for right now, if you've already gotten everything that you need, I believe that opening Astral lockboxes and Astral caskets would be good still in order to get those trade bars. Now, if you don't need trade bars, you're thinking, oh yeah, maybe insignia powders. Again, with like the standard lockboxes, you can get those choice of um, legendaries, I suppose. Yeah, legendaries. However, Astral ones has a chance of getting you um, legendaries as well. So, and of course, standard lockboxes uses keys. Astral ones don't, right? So it really depends on your situation. Do you have extra AD? Do you have extra Zen? Um, would you like to get the Neo Eclipse? Would you rather get a bountiful bag? So those are kind of like the verses. Like if your choice between lockbox or casket, which one should you get? Again, these two have both legendary um, kind of like insignias in them. So that should not be your kind of like concern then, if you're looking for um, insignia powders or even the actual insignias themselves. So that should be like a secondary reason. The first primary reason then is, do you care about the Neo Eclipse? Do you care about any of the mounts that are or companions that are listed? Again, some of the companions and items in here is exactly the same in either boxes. The only difference that I can tell is that the casket has the bountiful bag, which I'm crazy about, and Astral Lockbox has the Neo Eclipse, which I am also crazy about because I don't have it yet. Do I really need it? No. Would I like one? Yes. So again, really up to you. Subjective, really. I might do a split between half of lockboxes and half casket with the 80 that I have, or if I happen to kind of like buy one and open one at a time, and I got the Neo Eclipse, for example, then I don't really care about the lockbox anymore. Then I'll just continue buying caskets so that I can get a bountiful bag. It's probably cheap in the auction house, but I don't play that way. Um, and yeah, I would like to get more insignia powder. So that's it for this video. I think I've already answered my question. What should you open? Which lockbox should you open in mod 32.5? Currently, with the Astral lockbox and casket, and also the Astral or Bazaar, Wondrous Bazaar discount, is either Astral lockbox or Astral casket. End of story. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all. Spartan D out.